podcast?
No, first time.
This? Cool. How long have you been in your business?
About 5 years now.
And the name of that company
Is LTS Group, which is short for Logical Technology Solutions Group.
Cool. And you're managed IT?
Correct.
For what's your ideal client?
We don't have an ideal. We basically handle medical, law
But
firms.
it's all business, all commercial.
Pretty much, yeah. We don't do any residential or anything like that.
Okay.
So,
And where do you get most of your business from?
word of mouth, honestly. We do very little advertising or anything like that. I've got a small advertisement on the back of my truck, and that's about it.
Sure.
I've probably gotten maybe 5 or 6 from someone seeing me on the road or something like that. But
Sure.
most of it's word of mouth through vendors like Comcast, AT&T. We use a security appliance called Barracuda Networks. They hand me out a lot of clients that need.
So it's mostly larger relationships.
Oh yeah.
Kind of divvying out some of that work too.
Yep.
Cool. How long have you been in that world?
25 years.
What brought you there? College? Where'd you go to college?
Actually, I went to college for criminal justice.
Oh, cool.
So
That's not an uncommon story of having nothing to do with what you went to college for.
Yeah. So basically, my dad, he's been in IT for since the mid '80s when he worked for Wang Laboratories. But when he started his own company, I was still in high school. Did help desk, desktop support stuff for him after I got home, and then it just took off from there. Self-taught, I guess you could say.
Sure.
And now I'm one of the leading security analysts for Wellstar, basically making sure that they have all their stuff, shored up and secure behind firewalls and stuff like that. I've done a couple of implementations for them. Let's see, golly. Of course, I've got government, work in the past, state and the federal level, the DOJ. Golly. A wide spectrum of basically, everything.
How much of that is carried over, both from like your ability to run a business and as well as that client base carries over from your dad running that business kind of in that same world? Did you take those relationships and run with them, or did you kind of farm your own?
He actually shut down before I started mine. I want to say it was about 5-year difference. And then, of course, going on site and learning how to communicate with his customers and stuff, it was a learning experience, I guess you could say, on the job training. Most of the time I went out and just introduced myself to them for all my current customers and just said, hey, this is what we can do for you. We do free site network assessments and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, we like what you do. You're very communicative. You show us in detail what we need or what we don't need. Mm-hmm. For me, it's not about making money. Okay. It's about shoring up security, making sure that they're able to be productive,
bringing value.
Yeah, bringing value, and I don't break the bank for them either. Like some companies that are out there, they are in it for, let's see how many projects we can get this customer to do.
Sure.
I'm in it for, I love IT.
Sure.
It's something that comes natural to me. Stay abroad with or stay up to date with all the newest technologies and stuff like that. It's that right there. You got to be challenged.
Sure.
And if you're not challenged, then it's like, okay, I'm bored with it. I don't care and stuff like that. But no, making sure that the customers are happy is number one.
Sure.
It's like I said, it's not about making a lot of money on them.
Yeah. So tell me this: you're at Wellstar. I'm assuming those implementations are one of your larger clients in one transaction. What are do you have a story or testimony from a smaller client? Do you have any really small business where you've come in and helped them kind of?
Oh yeah, I've got a CPA group that there's only 2 people in the office. So for a CPA, they've got a lot of people's data, like social security numbers and stuff like that they house on their systems. That's key right there. That's one of the primary targets that hackers and so forth were looking for. Mm-hmm. We go in, we basically shore up their network, put firewalls in place, web security in place, of course, antivirus and security platforms on their desktops and laptops. And I mean, we might get 1 or 2 calls a month from them because they're running smoothly and they don't have any issues.
So tell me this, and this may be something that you get asked a lot, but from the perspective of small business, what that means as far as network security isn't always very clear. Tell me what, in English, what that really means for me. How do I know I'm operating securely, and what are some of the benefits of that that status?
If you've got say you have your own personal network that you do stuff on this, for your customers, we would actually come in, look at your environment, who your internet service provider is, making sure that you're getting what you're paying for from them, to making sure that you're secure. That's the biggest thing that a lot of small businesses don't realize is they have to have a firewall. They have to. Ransomware attacks, there's probably 200 to 300 a day. Once that ransomware goes into the system and stuff, it locks their files, and then they hold it for ransom for, golly, anywhere from $10,000 to $5 million. Mm-hmm. And we deal with that. We don't pay the ransom. Mm-hmm. We put things in place to where you have a backup. You could be one person, or you could be 5,000 people, for a company.
Sure.
That backup is going to be your lifesaver. As long as it runs and stays maintained, you're able to pick up right where you left off.
And how often are you recommending businesses, probably differentiates between industry, but how often is a typical small business all the way up to a Wellstar kind of reconciling those backups? How often are people actually backing up?
Not as often as they should. Let's just put it this way. That's the majority. Now, for my customers, we use an appliance that backs up their systems every 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, yeah. And it's a solid platform, and it also detects things like ransomware. If it detects a ransomware, it actually shuts down your system because it detects it. It says, you've been attacked, shut down your system, and go to your backup. Cool. I mean, that's basically what it does. As far as, most companies, they probably do a backup at the end of the day. My platform is you do a backup every 15 minutes. At the end of the day, that data then gets transferred up to the cloud and stored for kind of like a year, basically. And different, such as CPAs and stuff like that with IRS standards and stuff, you have to keep data for, 7 to 10 years these days. Mm-hmm. There's platforms for that. So we make sure that they stay within whatever
some integrated systems work as well as
Correct.
kind of backing up an existing solution.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense. I think I got a pretty comprehensive view of what you guys do, honestly. Let's who in your name is Chris McCoy.
Correct.
Tell me, who is Chris McCoy? What do you like to do other than IT? I'm glad that you're kind of passionate about what you do, but what's the rest of your life look like?
So I was born and raised here in Ackworth. You don't get that very often.
No, you don't. 41 years. Golly, the McCoy family has been around here for decades, if not hundreds of years. It's my life. It revolves around my family, my wife, my daughter, and making sure that I support them at whatever they are doing, or just making sure we stay together. Sure.
I'm celebrating 20 years with my wife next week. So
congratulations, sir.
Yeah. And anybody that says marriage is easy, whew. It's been.
How old's your daughter?
She's she'll turn 20 in March.
We'll edit all the time that it took you to remember.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. She's 12. That's cool. And she plays sports?
She did. She's a sophomore at KSU right now. So she gave up softball, which I coached her the majority of her years. Her senior year of high school.
Oh, cool.
But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Alatoona.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played Alatoona in almost every. I went to Rockmart.
Okay.
So we were pretty good at softball too, actually.
I think we came across you guys quite a few times.
Yeah, we actually had a dirty little softball team there for a while. I'm not gonna lie, they were good. But that's cool. And I think I heard that you do like a nonprofit, something like that.
Yep, that's actually the softball. Yeah. So we basically, what we do with the girls on the softball organization is we prep them for life experiences, and we use the tool of softball to do that. How to overcome defeat, how to overcome disappointment, how to overcome adversity. And if when they come at a young age, they don't understand that stuff. And you got to teach them how to bounce back from anything that's, that puts them down. I'm a big proponent for coaching girls up. Mm-hmm. The reason why is you've got a lot of coaches that will berate, girls. Mm-hmm. And if they're not understanding something that the coach is asking them to do, or if it's something that they don't know how to do, or whatever it may be, the coach comes at them in a strong way. You can do that with boys all day long. Mm-hmm. You cannot do that with girls. Mm-hmm. You basically shut them down.
Yeah, both sides start to express that frustration.
Oh, yeah. It's all about building the girls up, getting them prepared for life. Some of them, I would say, I've been coaching, almost 20 years now. Mm-hmm. And I would say 4, maybe 5 girls that I've coached have actually made it to play for college, and only one has actually went all the way through college playing. Mm-hmm. So the percentage is low for all those girls that really want to play in college, but there's always a college for them to play at.
Sure.
Whether it be a JUCO, Division III, Division II, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. But, we're there to build them up and help them see that they can do things.
What's the name of that organization?
Nitro Fast Pitch.
Do you guys operate as a team?
We operate as...
you're entering tournaments. You're operating almost as...
Oh, it's an organization.
Yeah. Whatever is I play basketball.
Gotcha.
So it's the equivalent of, AAU. It's travel.
Yeah, it's travel. Okay, it's all travel. We play in multiple tournaments around the state as well as out of state, college showcases and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did some of that as well with basketball. So I played, I left high school. I went to UGA and destroyed my knee there my first year. And when I came home, my little brother was 15. Mm-hmm. He was in the summer of freshman year going into sophomore year. And I think it had between 8th graders coming to be freshmen and freshmen beginning to be sophomores. I think we had a team of about 13, 14, wow. Some that fluctuated.
Yep.
But I knew, basketball was my life the same way. I could regurgitate information that I had learned from people that were powerful minds in the basketball world like nobody's business.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You looked up to them and they actually taught you some things that you actually 100%, do today.
And we could replicate. And that formula for success that I learned in college was a formula was something that was supposed to be replicable and to the best of your ability, something that you can do over and over again, no matter who your personnel is, while ensuring that your personnel is the best that it can be.
Right.
And we were good, man. We went to Myrtle Beach and played in the NCAA, the college showcase, and won it twice.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we were good. We were the real deal. We were about 126 and 16 over those 18 months, and then 12 of those 13 kids went and played sports in college.
So
we had a little bit, and boys basketball is a competitive environment. About half of them went for basketball, and about half of them went for football.
Gotcha.
So they're incredible athletes. But I'm telling you, we found a group of kids that were the same age. It's not common. Mm-hmm. It's not common the level of basketball that we were playing. We got 15, 14-year-olds playing in 16U basketballs, throwing each other lobs. You know what I mean? We and I was a scientist. That's everything that I can do is how do we get to the point where we put the ball in the hole the easiest every single time? Yep. I don't care to sit here and I didn't do skill drills with anybody there. I was I don't need to teach any of you how to step back, jump shot, anybody. And I need all of you to know the fundamentals. And we just demoralized teams. You had kids that would come down there and just ungodly talent at basketball. Come down there, shake their guy, get past the second dude and score and work and just can go.
Yep.
And then you come back down the other day and we are a system.
Yeah.
Is you do everything that you can do and you still end up where we are 2 feet away from the basket and the ball's going in for free. You can't even defend it.
Right.
Free layups. And it was the most demoralizing thing for kids at that age to realize that these kids won't even talk shit to you. They won't even open your we started out very energetic, talk shit, piped up, bring the energy to the game.
Oh yeah.
By the end of the season, we weren't even talking shit to people anymore because none of those kids were on our level.
Right.
Like we had no business.
You
down
just
there.
went out there and basically did what you did.
We went to 18U next year with 16-year-olds and beat the hell out of everybody there too. I mean, nobody. We played. We changed. AAU basketball is run and gun, fire, high scoring, changing all the time. The tempo of the game. Kids coming in, kids coming out. Antics on the sidelines. We didn't do that. We slowed the game down.
At your pace, basically.
Oh, we grinded the game to a halt. We didn't run with anybody. Right. Everybody wanted to play games in the hundreds, and we were winning games in the 60s by 30. You know what I mean? Like, there was nobody that understood how to operate. You got teams pressing and upping the pace of the game, and we were scoring. Everybody was getting back, falling back into a 3-2 and a trap.
Oh, wow.
So you guys are kind of replicating that the same way. We've talked to some guys, like we just had a business partner, Paul Millsap. If you follow any basketball, Paul Millsap.
I know the name.
Yeah, he was with the Jazz.
Okay.
Then he was with the Hawks for a long time when Kyle Korver, Jeff Teague, Al Horford, all those guys were there, and they were really good for those couple of years.
Okay.
Had to meet LeBron and the Cavs.
Right.
And now he's with the Nuggets, and he's an incredible basketball player. But we just had maybe 2 weeks ago, a business partner of his named Thomas Carr, shout out Coach T, he's the bomb, but they're doing the same. They're a prep school. So in basketball, the prep school is that gap year between eligibility and high school.
Yep.
And they're killing it. They're playing against the Montverdes and the Oak Hills of the world, and they're killing it. They're bringing in high-level talent. High. And they're only doing fundamentals. They're teaching kids fundamentals. Like they're teaching kids how to backdoor people. Like they're teaching kids how to post up. Like they're teaching kids how to receive the ball in a way that puts your defender at a disadvantage. Like they're not teaching no scissor dribbles, none of that Chris Paul shit. Like nobody's James Harden is. We're gonna boil the game down to these specific parts. We're gonna make you really good at this parts, and you can translate wherever your system is out in the world.
Yep.
It's gonna be able to translate because of the way that we teach you. So it's always so interesting to me how business people take that very fundamental aspect and translate it into the sports that they do. And you've kind of done that the same way as taking the lineage of your dad running a business and then running a business yourself and then created a business based on foundation in sport. Yep. It's incredible and it transcends to your business and the way that you do business. I'm sure that you've gotten business based on conversations and relationships that you have with those people.
Sure have.
So it's really incredible. You're speaking almost to the power of networking.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what we do in our business is network and meet people and bring them in and create that relationship. I'll speak for myself, but most of the people that come in this room haven't had this type of situation before. Never had this type of engagement. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting. It's interesting to bring someone in that's kind of changing the game and running their business at a different pace, kind of the same way we are. So I commend you, sir. I appreciate you coming in. Tell me what does the future look like, both for your IT company as well as the softball stuff, because it seems kind of you're still ingrained in both of those worlds.
As far as the future of the softball side, I'm actually retiring from coaching at the end of this season.
Cool.
I will still oversee the organization and make sure that we bring in the right coaches to be able to carry on what we're doing.
I commend you for that as well, sir. There's nothing wrong with that. When you're you can only have so much energy and so much time.
Yeah. Plus, the wife is gonna say, "Hey, it's either softball or me."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Get ahead of that.
Exactly.
That is not one of those bridges you want to cross when you get there. You need to know about that bridge well in advance.
Yep.
Look, so what's it look like for the
for the IT side? We're actually growing, and one of the things that has actually developed in 2020 with the occurrence of the pandemic and everybody being shut down and stuff is we're not only servicing customers, locally in Ackworth or Cobb County. We've got customers nationwide. I would say I could probably put a ballpark on there about 100, maybe to 150, which is small for the grand scheme of things. I've got one technician that works for me, and between the two of us, we manage to take care of everybody. We have the remote capabilities, getting in someone's system. Now, of course, if it's something that's hardware failure or something like that, we'll either fly or drive or hire a local company to go out there and service them for us. It just depends on the circumstance. As far as what the future holds, we're growing. I think we've picked up probably about 10 to 12 new customers just in 2020 alone. 2021, I've got...
is that one deal a month, that one additional customer a month kind of your base? Is that where you want to be?
That's pretty much where we want to be.
Sure.
I mean, we can handle more than that. We basically take them on as a project to begin with, and then once we make sure that they're up to what the standards should be, we basically put them on a service contract. And I'm not here to brag, but I have to. When COVID did happen, all of our customers that we had previously were that good where we actually shut ourselves down because we made it to where that they could work from home to begin with.
Sure.
So when COVID hit, they were already prepped to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We got the occasional, hey, I forgot my password, call, and that was a 2-second fix, and then they're back up and running. But we've got other things that are on the calendar, I guess you could say, to put in front of our customers and say, hey, with this, we don't know what the uncertainty of what the next year is going to hold with COVID and stuff like that. We're going to bring it to them and say, hey, let's try this. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
And we've got some guinea pigs out there that we won't charge them to test it within their environment. And then once we do, we give it to them for free. And then we go on to our next customer and say, hey, this is what customers are using. We can do this for you, and it makes your productivity increase by 15-20%. We're definitely growing. There's no doubt about it. And
tell me, if you don't mind sharing with me, scale-wise, if you were to scale up, at that pace that you're looking for, what would be, are you going to transition to that sales and development role and continue to bring technicians in? What kind of role would you want to continue to fill first? Are you bringing in a salesman? Or are you bringing in another technician and keeping the sales, kind of for yourself,
I would say
that?
One of each, actually. Okay. One extra salesperson and then a technician engineer. The guy that I've got now, he's pretty qualified to be able to oversee those technicians that we bring on. I would say the biggest thing we're coming across is there's a lot of people out there in the industry. There's also a lot of us companies, that are in the industry. So
it's approaching it the same way as our services.
Yeah.
It's everyone wants to commoditize.
Correct.
The service of your business. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Commoditizing a business service. I tell people to have fun. Let me know about your experience so I can put your anti-testimonial on my website of how bad of an experience that you have.
Exactly.
Pulling business services off a shelf.
Yep.
Usually not highly recommended on my list. So.
It's just a matter of making sure we can keep the customer happy and keep going forward. I mean, if we take a step back, then we're actually hurting ourselves.
Sure.
The quality of people that want to work is very slim.
Sure.
Being a business owner, actually 2014 is when I actually started my company. So I'm actually going on my 7th year right now.
Cool.
So I've had my round of employees, and right now, Alex is the only one that I've actually kept. So it's just finding the right person to be able to see the customer how I see them, and putting them first.
Well, I'll tell you that the reason that I ask those things is because as far as customer acquisition, I think that you'll find continuing to work and network with us that, that is my job, is continuing to acquire clients. And we have, not to say we don't serve, we have in-house customer service on the other side, but most of what we do is acquisition, and we've really focused at the end of 2020 bringing in 2021 with some built-in lead generation.
Good.
Is the kind of the calling campaigns and inviting people to have these type of interactions the way that Roderick called you. I believe it was yesterday, but
yeah, actually.
So those calling campaigns, we have a networking group ourselves that we run ourselves, and we really hated that $5 a ticket and $100 for a sponsorship. And I always go back to this quote from Jesse Eisenberg when he was Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have.
He's like, you want to kill the party before it's cool. You're telling everybody to go home at 11 o'clock, putting ads on Facebook when we have 1,000 members,
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people did with networking, man. It's like you monetized it before it was monetizable, and it made it lame as hell.
Yep.
And you blew all the value out there. So we're a free networking group. When we mean free, we mean free.
Yeah.
We haven't asked anybody for a dime ever.
That's
I don't
awesome.
care to, because my platform works.
Right.
And the reason you'll come back is because you'll get deals.
Oh, yeah.
So the networking group will probably be good for you. We have a close partner with ours that's kind of in that HR hiring. He actually comes from a Sidcore background where they're constantly hiring salesmen. And people are quitting all the time because it's door-to-door sales, and you can make a lot of money, but it's high turnover industry. So he built his own system, built his own piece of proprietary technology where he kind of, he is career builder, with a small business feel and a little bit of steroids. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for people, you're looking for salesmen, looking for technicians, he can find these people very specific in that industry and help you grow there as well.
Okay.
And then as far as the health of your business and the way everything's going, the services that we provide as far as credit card processing and all of the other stuff is, stuff that we're very transparent about. We don't do contracts or time log. We're a small business just like you are. When we don't do our job and we don't put our money where our mouth is, we lose clients, and we don't lose them either.
Exactly.
So the relationship between your company and ours, I'm sure will be very lucrative in the future. But I wanted to ask, kind of before we got out here, what can we do for you? What are you looking for in the future? I know I asked about scale, but what can the MP Group do for you? What can the podcast do for you? What does that look like in 2021? Your kind of continued relationship with us. We always want to bring value to our business in any way that we can. The equipment's here all the time. Start your own. The doors are open. We're free. Hopefully you tell me something I haven't heard yet, and I can offer it to other people. So.
Well, I mean, being the first time doing a podcast and everything is just. I think that would actually benefit more getting the word out of who we are and what we can do.
Sure.
Now, one of the other things I haven't mentioned is, so I guess you could say I'm an entrepreneur. I have the nonprofit softball organization.
Definitely an
IOT Services. The one that I haven't spoke on is I'm also a FFL dealer. So I do firearms and I do firearms training. There's 4 of us in the company, and we do sales, we do gunsmithing, we do training, basically anything and everything you can think of with firearms, whether it be safety, whatever. That right there, as far as the merchant services side of it, that's where I probably could use you guys.
Sure.
That.
I'll tell you another thing. Do you do recurring billing?
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't, in that IT services thing, you're missing the key. Because getting people signed up for recurring billing and then getting one call from them every 6 months is awesome. It's awesome.
Exactly.
You don't get it quite as free as a gym, sign up in January and we don't see you again until December. But,
right.
You get pretty close to that. If you do a good job, you can get pretty close.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we do recurring billing on the IT side, and we just, right now, which kind of crazy is a lot of customers don't want to pay through credit card or debit card. That's mostly ACH and written checks.
It's good for you.
Well, yeah, but it takes a long time to get that.
Definitely does.
So, I mean, if I could make it to where it was easier for my customers to pay, trust me, I'm all over it. Sure. It's just a matter of presenting that to the customer and getting them to understand.
Well, we can tell you kind of from a payments expert what that should look like. And you might have some of those capabilities already, but obviously we'd love to do your credit card processing.
Gotcha.
But we could point you in the right direction. But so back to what we were talking about. What is what can we do for you besides services wise? Are you looking to network this year?
Oh, you definitely.
Are you looking to kind of, because our network obviously is all business owners. Everything that we do is all business owners, business network, and we can send you all that, whether it's our networking group or a bunch of other ones that we frequent as well.
Networking is the biggest thing that I can honestly say that we have not done enough of.
Sure.
Now BNI, I started BNI back when I first started the company, 2014 and 15. After 2 years of doing it, I didn't feel that I was actually getting anything. I was giving more than I was getting.
Sure.
I guess you could say. And I love giving. Trust me. It's just I hope to have
Well,
something.
you've probably still
reciprocated.
got people in that group that you send referrals to.
Oh, yeah.
Those relationships go a long way. And if you've got those relationships and you know the 4 or 5 that you're getting and giving to,
Yep.
what do you need to pay B&I for?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So, and that's the biggest thing is what I was forking out wasn't showing the returns that I was hoping to get. So, networking definitely with you guys.
Well, I'll tell you, I really do appreciate you coming in. You feel free, before we go, I want you to ring in the name of your business and if you have any social media or your name again where people can connect with you, because you'll have some people connected with you. But I definitely appreciate you coming in, man. It's been great to meet you, and you have a really cool story and all of these avenues that you continue to grow your business. We hope to be a part of.
Oh, definitely looking forward to that.
Cool. So tell people your business. Tell the camera your business name one more time and where to find you.
It is Logical Technology Solutions Group, LTS Group for short, and you can go to www.lts-grp.com, and you can also hit us up on Facebook at LTSGRP at the end of the web address, and you can always reach out to us at 678-540-6727.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Cool.